It's time to make it. Just give it a try. 'Cause you can make it like the old fat guy.
Welcome to today's show. I'm David Farrell. I'm going to show you how to make Cambodian chicken. Cambodian chicken is an oriental style of chicken that uses a marinade of oriental sauces, a glaze of some oil and spices, and then a dipping sauce for flavor. And I start with a 2 to 3 pound chicken. Now, you'll note on this chicken that I used a pair of poultry shears to just cut down either side of the backbone. Then I opened it up and I used a sharp knife to cut along each side of this breastbone, and then a pair of shears to cut the sides of it off the wishbone, and then lifted the wishbone out. That's a process called spatchcocking. And what it does, and the reason you do it, is you want to let the chicken lay flat while it's cooking, and it'll cook more evenly and more quickly that way. And then to let the marinade in, I just made some slashes, 2 slashes along the breasts on each side, 2 on the thighs, 2 on the drumsticks, and there you have a way to let the marinade into the chicken without having to stuff it under the skin. To make the marinade, I put 5 cloves of garlic in this blender, and to it I'm going to add 25 milliliters of sugar and 5 milliliters of salt. That's 2 tablespoons of sugar and 1 teaspoon of salt. And we'll just put them in the blender. And we're going to add some oriental sauces now. And what I have in this cup are 15 milliliters or 1 tablespoon of soy sauce and 15 milliliters or 1 tablespoon of hoisin sauce. Hoisin is an Asian sauce available in the Asian section of your supermarket. And we're just going to add them to my blender. Now you can use a food processor or one of those immersion little hand blenders if you want. But I'm just going to put it in, and I'm going to pulse it around until it's a paste. And after it's pulsed for a few seconds, you just want to push any big chunks of garlic down and give it some more. It took about a minute for the garlic to get all changed into a paste, and it's looking just right. Now, we're going to take our spatchcock chicken in a plain, ordinary plastic bag, and we're going to put the chicken in the plastic bag. And once it's in the plastic bag, we're just going to add the marinade to it. Rub it all over the surface. And make sure you get it all in with a little spatula there. There we go. And now we're going to just take the chicken and rub the marinade in all over the surface of the chicken. That chicken is now going to get sealed up in the bag. There we go. Just put a twist tie on it. And we'll put it in a pan in case it leaks a bit. And that's going to go in the fridge for overnight that's going to go in the fridge from 5 hours to overnight when we'll finish the chicken off. So I'll see you tomorrow as the chicken marinates. I will let you know that during the time it's in the fridge, I'm going to flip it over 2 or 3 times and rub the marinade in the surface again. So see you back tomorrow. I've got my cooktop set up because we need to make a glaze for the Cambodian chicken. They use a garlic flavored oil, just a touch of mild pepper, red pepper in it. I don't want spicy, so I'm going to use paprika. But we'll start off with, I put 25 milliliters or 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil in this pan. I normally use a little pan, but I want you to see what I'm doing. And I've got it heated up to just about medium. And I'm going to throw the garlic in. And what I have there is 1 clove of garlic that's just cut into big chunks. And what we're going to do is just stir it until it starts to get a little golden in the oil, because what we're looking to do is to flavor the oil for the glaze. So this will take a couple of minutes. You can see that the garlic's not brown, but just golden, and that's exactly what you're looking for. And here, speed is of the essence, because I'm going to take 10 milliliters or 2 teaspoons of paprika, and I'm going to dump it in there, and it's got to be literally just seconds it's in there just to get the paprika to bloom without burning. So we're just going to dump that in, and we're going to stir it literally for just seconds, and then we're going to pour that into a bowl. And there's your glaze. There we go. We've made the glaze. So now we need to let the glaze cool down just a little bit, and we'll be getting the chicken out and brushing it on the skin side. So give me a second to get rid of my cooktop. The chicken has had some chance for some of the excess marinade to drain off of it, and I just cooled the glaze for a minute or so. You just don't want it really steaming hot. And now we're going to put the skin on the plate, skin side up, and we're going to paint the skin side with the glaze. And as you can see, it gives it a really dark color. And that is one of the hallmarks of this recipe. Just get it all over the surfaces. At this point is when I generally start getting hungry, because really nice colors on chicken just sort of get the mind going about how good it's going to taste later. Get it under the wing there. And now what we're going to do, now that we got this side painted, before we go out to our barbecue where we're going to cook it, I'm just going to clean up my counter here and make a dipping sauce that we're going to use to serve it with. And the reason you want to make it ahead is you want the flavors to kind of marry together. And to make the dipping sauce, what I have is 25 milliliters of soy sauce. I have 25 milliliters of lime juice. I have 5 milliliters of coarse ground black pepper. And we're just going to mix those 3 together in a bowl. So we'll just put them all in. And by doing it ahead of time, some of the flavor of the pepper will go out into the liquid. So you want to do this before you start cooking your chicken. And we just need to get a spoon and give it a little stir. And we're going to let our dipping sauce sit until we're serving. And now we're going to go out to the barbecue and put the chicken on and show you how to cook it. Now, there are 3 ways you can cook your Cambodian chicken. You can use my smoke, as I've done in the past with my smoker, which you could set to 350 degrees and smoke the chicken. Or you can use a gas grill, and what I've done with the gas grill is mine has 3 burners that run crosswise. I've just lit the back one, and you want it to be between 325 and 375 on this thermometer. And what we're going to do is open the gas grill up and put the chicken not over the flame. You want it to be at 350 degrees roughly, and put it skin side down like that. And then we're going to take the leftover glaze we had from inside and paint the other side. With the glaze. And we're going to shut the lid and let it cook for 25 minutes on the skin side. I'll see you in 25 minutes. The chicken cooked for 20 to 25 minutes on the skin side, and we want to give it a flip. Now, this can be a little bit difficult to do, so I always try to use 2 spatulas. It just makes it easier. Put one under each side and flip it over. And the only reason you cook it skin side down first is to rinse some of that fat off the skin. It makes it a bit crispier. And now we're just going to close the lid and let this cook until the internal temperature of the breast is 170 degrees Fahrenheit. I'll talk to you when that happens. It's been a little over an hour that we've had the chicken in the smoker at 350 degrees. And we just want to make sure that the internal temperature is between 170 and 175 in the breast. 174, perfect. So the chicken is ready to take off of the barbecue. And we'll just put that there and we'll lift it off. And now you'll want to let this rest for about 10 minutes before you cut it up. See you inside. Brought the chicken in from the barbecue. It has a gorgeous color and it looks terrific, and I've let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes. It just makes it easier to cut up if it's a little cooler. And now we have to cut it into pieces. Now the way I like to start cutting into pieces is to start with the drumstick and just cut through right at the drumstick joint, just like that. And then I'll take one of the thighs off. Just cut through, just like that. And there's a thigh. Little slippery devil, there we go. And then we'll want to take the wing off. So just cut through at the wing joint. And there's a nice wing for someone with the wonderful crispy skin you get on the wing. And then cut the breast down the middle. And this is a big chunk of meat, so I like to cut it into 2, because a lot of people like white meat. There we go. And if the skin tends to pull off, just put it back. So there's some breast pieces. And you're just going to do the same thing with the other side. But when you go to serve it, you remember we made some dipping sauce. So I'm just going to take one of these drumsticks and try it. And you just have a couple of teaspoons of the dipping sauce, put the chicken in it, and give it a bite. There's a good garlic hit from the marinade. There's a wonderful, rich flavor from the soy sauce and the hoisin. The chicken is so incredibly moist, it just, as you can see, it just gets all over your fingers and it'll run down your chin, which is a good thing. This is a terrific Cambodian chicken. I thank those people for their flavor profile, and the best part is you can make it.
I have a good woman, I ain't good looking, but I do some cooking. I'm the old fat guy. So use that oven if you want some lovin'. Be like the old fat guy. Be like the old fat guy.